Good morning. Let me also make sure I'm not on mute because that has happened um, more times than I'm willing to admit. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This class I have been looking forward to all week long. And the reason why I say that is because in this class, you should either be a hotel management major or a hospitality management major. Okay. Raise your hand if you're a hotel management major. How about hospitality? How about something different? What are y'all's degrees? Culinary and restaurant management. That's okay. We'll have y'all. Um, Once you go on the hotel tours, you'll be like, maybe I should switch to hotel and hospitality. But that's great. I think it's awesome. Who else? Somebody else's hand did not go up on this side for hotel or hospitality, or did everybody's? Okay, cool. My name is Mr. Uminski. I am the director of the Hotel and Hospitality Management programs, so I oversee those. Chef Brown is the director for the culinary program. Chef Costello is the director for restaurant management. And Chef De La Fuente is the director for the baking and pastry program. So those are the 5 degrees that we offer. This is probably either tied or slightly larger, the largest class of front office management that I've had since I started teaching in St. Philip's College 9 years ago. So this makes me like my heart just feel so amazing. So I'm really excited that you guys are all here and looking forward to sharing this semester with y'all. Just a little bit of background for me, my degrees and my education. I was a student here at St. Philip's College. In 2000, I started when I graduated from Judson High School. Studied culinary arts, shot the tip of my thumb off in basic skills class, zested my middle finger when I was in basic skills class, and decided that I was going to take 1 year off and focus on the front of the house and do restaurant management. In that time, I worked for Chester's Hamburgers. That was my high school job all through high school and for about a year after. Got a job at TGI Fridays as a server, working in front of the house. I opened the TGI Fridays at the Forum, which is now Verizon Wireless. And then I was on the opening team of the Cheesecake Factory at North Star Mall 22 years ago. And let me tell you, at 19 years old, I thought my career was done. I was like, I'm at the top. I'm at the Cheesecake Factory. Oh, it was amazing, right? Thankfully, that's not the case. My career was not finished there. But interestingly enough, one of my coworkers that was in the bakery with me, one of my students recently did her practicum, and my coworker was her supervisor at the bakery at Cheesecake Factory at Lock and Terrace. So that's kind of fun. So I took that 1 year break, which turned into 7 years. So I finally came back in 2007 and switched my degree to hotel management. So I finished that in 2009. All the classes that I had taken for culinary transferred right over to hotel. So I didn't lose any classes, which is really cool. Um, in that 7 years that I was gone, the St. Philip's College created an event management degree. And so that was really cool. I was able to finish that degree as well after I did hotel management. And that is where the primary of my industry experience in San Antonio lies, is in event management and event planning. Once I finished, I took a little bit of a break, maybe about a year or so break, and then decided to go back for my bachelor's degree. I went to A&M San Antonio. So back then, when I was going, our campus was on Brook City base. We didn't even have the main campus of Tamusa. It was not open yet. And so I actually just this summer went to my 10-year anniversary class reunion, which was kind of weird to think it was that long ago. But it was in my final semester at A&M San Antonio that I took a training and development class and an organizational leadership class and realized I wanted to teach in some capacity. I didn't know what that meant. And came to St. Philip's College in April for their Culture Fest event, their Fiesta event. And Chef Costello said, you know, Deb Romeo, who was my professor of hotel management, he said, Deb Romeo is retiring in December. And I literally 2 weeks before that thought, I want to teach somewhere. And so I applied and started in January of 2015. I've been teaching here now for 9 years. So I absolutely love what I do here. In that same time, I was encouraged to go get my master's degree. So I finished that at University of North Texas up in Denton. It was an online program. Finished that in May of 2020. Took another little couple years off. And then now I'm currently almost 50% done with my doctoral degree at Grand Canyon University. I'm studying higher education leadership. So that will put me on a trajectory for administration. So someday I'll be president of a university. Um, so that's me kind of in a nutshell. I think one reason why I like to share this, even though everything after St. Philip's isn't necessarily related to hospitality, most of it is business and most of it is leadership, which is things that I've gone through. But when I finished my hotel management degree in 2009, I thought I'm done with school. And now look where I am. I'm getting a doctorate degree, which is kind of weird. I didn't think a bachelor's degree was possible. So I encourage you to consider education after an associate's degree if it's going to benefit you in your career. Okay. In hospitality, if you're going to stay in the hospitality industry, probably the max you need to do is a bachelor's degree. There's not really any reason to get more than that in the hospitality industry per se. That's kind of weird to hear a professor say, don't get more education, but only focus on what's going to help you in the long run. And so a bachelor's degree is going to be helpful. I'm working with right now Stephen F. Austin University, which is in Nacogdoches, Texas. I'm working with UTSA, who just started a hospitality program. I'm also working with, we have a partnership with with University of Houston. And I'm also, there's one more, I can't think of it right now. Can't think of it, but we're working with, well, A&M San Antonio is also an option to transfer. It's not a hospitality degree, but it is a business management degree. So if you have any questions, if you're looking for a bachelor's degree, one thing that's helpful is because a lot of hotel companies, if they have like a fast track into their management programs, most of them require at least a bachelor's degree to get into that fast track management position program. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that would be a question for an HR person, which I can definitely ask. I don't know if the bachelor's degree has to be in hospitality or if it can be in something else, but most of them require that bachelor's level to go into. And what they do is it's called a management and development, an MID or LID, leadership and development program. And so most of them, they vary based on the brand, but most of them are where you go to a hotel for a year and they send you to whatever hotel they want you to go to. And you either live in the hotel or they provide housing for you. And you rotate through every department in that hotel. After that management and development or LID program is done, then they're going to send you to any hotel that they need help with. Basically, you're kind of paying back the company for investing in you and developing your management leadership skills. So typically it's usually 1 to 2 years. They get to say wherever you go, that's where they send you. And then after that 1 to 2 year period is done, then you can apply to other places that you're more interested in living. But it definitely is a way to fast track into a management position. So that's really cool. So that's why I recommend a bachelor's degree. My industry experience, I worked for 7 summers at the Acadia Institute of Oceanography. It's a small private summer camp. I prepared breakfast and dinner for 60 people a day. So I basically did catering breakfast and dinner every day for 60 people. And that's up in Acadia National Park. And the one reason why I was able to do that up in Maine, the only reason why I was able to do that is because of my culinary background, because of my skills that I developed while I was a culinary student, but also just in the industry in general. My experience, it's best to get cross-trained into other areas instead of just focusing on your one area. As far as hotels, I worked at the La Quinta Inn and Suites downtown, right across from the HEB. I worked there for a year, and did my internship there at the front desk. And I worked housekeeping. Sheraton Gunther Hotel, I worked in the food and beverage, so I was a server in their restaurant, known as the singing waiter, because I'd always sing to my guests before they go to the Majestic for a show. I worked at Rio Cibolo Ranch. So this is kind of post associates degrees. These are while both of these jobs are while I was getting my associates. These are post associates. I worked at Rio Cibolo for 4 years. So I did corporate events anywhere from 10 people on up to 2,000 people. And then I also did weddings for 1 year. And then from there, I realized I kind of met my max. I'd learned everything that I'm going to learn. And so oftentimes what you'll find in our industry, you have the option to move up or move on. And so I didn't have a chance to move up, so I chose to move on. And I worked for a company called Adventures in San Antonio. They're a destination management company. So I did more corporate events. And then also I listed Alamo Area Hospitality Association, AHA. I am currently the president of AHA this year. I was president back in 2014. I'm also a board member for the San Antonio Hotel Lodging Association, San Antonio Visitor Alliance, and the Hospitality Educators Association of Texas. So this is an organization that connects higher education, or sorry, high school teachers with industry people. So I'm kind of like the middleman as higher education. So this is kind of like what I do on a weekly basis. And so I absolutely love my calendar. If it's not in my calendar, it doesn't exist. I'm one of the chances are I'm probably going to forget it. But if you have any questions, one of my industry mentors once told me that you never know where the right time and right place is, so you have to be everywhere all the time. And I took her very literally when I was younger, when I was a student, doing event planning. So I took her very literally with that. Now, after being in the industry for about 14 or 15 years, I can be a little bit more selective in what I do. But I love being on these organizations, SALA and SAVA, San Antonio Visitor Alliance. These two are probably the more professional organizations. These are all professional organizations, but these are more of the executive level positions. So in both of these organizations, I have an opportunity to network with general managers, owners of hospitality companies like Natural Bridge Caverns, Six Flags, the president of Six Flags, SeaWorld. So I have a chance to network and build my professional network with those organizations. AHA is one of my favorites because it's where I got my start. As a student at St. Philip's College in 2008, I received a $500 scholarship from AHA that was crucial for me to be able to go to school. And then in 2014, 6 years later, I was the president giving the scholarship back to St. Philip's. So it's a very full circle organization for me. So if you will answer this with your fingers 1, 2, or 3, just so I can kind of get an idea and gauge where people are. So you currently work in the industry, you are excited to work in the industry, or you've never worked in the industry. Good. I like to see a lot of excitement. Good. Never worked in the hospitality. Okay, good. 1 and 2. Okay, cool. You can do 2 and one or 3, because I guess that is, you could currently work and still be excited, or you've never worked and you're still excited. So you can do. I'll allow that. Awesome. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna do some introductions. You'll tell us your name, what your major. We don't worry about your majors because I already know that. And what is your ideal job in hospitality? How did you hear about this program? And either one accomplishment over the break, or one fun thing you did, or a fun fact about you in general. So my name is Mr. Uminski. My ideal job, I'm doing it. I get to teach y'all about the amazingness of our hospitality industry. And one accomplishment over the break, just before we came back, I went up to Phoenix or Arizona, and I climbed to the top of Arizona, Humphreys Peak. It's 12,650 feet elevation. It was an 11-mile 8-hour round trip hike, 5 hours up, 3 hours down. I wanted to stop so many times. I didn't cry. I almost did. I was on the brink. But it is part of one of my goals to get to the top of all 50 states before I turn 50. So I want to visit the highest elevation point of all 50 states before I turn 50. That was number 38. So I have 12 left, and 8 years to go. All right. Who would like to go next? Awesome.
So right now, but in hospitality, I have previously worked for this first. How did I hear about it? So I have a huge, like, interest in sports. I'm a huge, like, sports fan.
But I think I heard a lot of awesome, like, I mean, first of all, hotels all over, right? And so if you, for those of you who said you want to get a job in a hotel, you have classmates that are working in hotels. And so that's how we develop our network. I believe you met the general manager of Morgan's Wonderland at the SeaWorld luncheon, or was it Six Flags?
No, it was the one downtown. Oh, it wasn't the hotel. It was the restaurant.
It was the restaurant that we went to.
The seafood restaurant?
No, the one that was on the corner by Houston. Buckhorn, yes.
Oh, the Buckhorn Museum. So that was for the San Antonio Visitor Alliance. That's what when you because you mentioned general managers, and I don't want to get anybody's hopes up. You're not going to run into general managers at the AHA luncheons. Okay. That general managers that executive level is going to be more of the San Antonio Visitor Alliance and San Antonio Hotel Lodging Association. But AHA is a really good organization to kind of get your feet wet. How many of you love to talk to new people? How many of you hate to talk to new people? Right? And so let me give you an indication. When I first went to my very first AHA luncheon, I got checked in and I sat right down at my seat. And now, not just because I'm the president, but usually people are like, David, stop talking so we can get started. Sit down. So sometimes if you're in a brand new situation, you get really nervous. But then once you kind of go more frequently, you get a little bit more comfortable with it. So let's talk. What's next? Okay, expectations. We're gonna run through the rest of this, and then we're gonna take a break. Okay. So attendance Thursdays, our classes on Thursdays, because we only meet one day a week, it's a double block class. So we meet from 10:45 to 1:30. The reason why I do that is because when we go on a hotel field trip to go to see the hotels, we actually have 2 hours in the hotel versus our normal class would be an hour and 15 minutes. 15 minutes travel, 15 minutes back. Now we're down to 45 minutes. That's not a long time. So that's why we do a double block only on Thursdays. Decorum, we are a professional business class. Okay. There is no dress code for class per se, but when we do go on field trips, when we go to luncheons, I am going to ask that you dress professionally. Okay. If you don't have professional attire, I have some here in the back. This has all been donated by different industry professionals. I even have some shoes that are in the closet. So you are welcome to go through there and grab one outfit. And if that's what you wear to every single thing, that's totally fine. Okay. I have developed my professional wardrobe piece by piece. Okay. You don't have to go out and get a whole bunch of stuff. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. You can actually even I go to Goodwill oftentimes. If I'm on the road, there was one time I was traveling and I forgot I had a Zoom meeting. So I went to Goodwill and I bought a shirt for $2 and a tie for $1.50. And sitting on Zoom, of course, I was wearing shorts because it was Zoom, right? But, I was like, I forgot I had the Zoom meeting. I need to dress professionally for it. Let me go to Goodwill. I spent $5, less than $5, and I had a professional top, right? So you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. The majority of our assignments are going to be chapter quizzes, okay? And these chapter quizzes are going to build toward the final exam, okay? So you will more than likely, unless the publisher has changed the final exam since last year, more than likely those questions that are on these chapter exams are going to be the same questions that are going to be on your final exam. Okay. I'm still working on the in-road property management system, trying to figure out how I can incorporate that, because this semester, which we'll talk about in just a moment, our calendar is jam-packed. Okay. Participation in our field trips. Okay. I understand things come up. We are planning on doing at least 4 hotel field trips. So, if you need to miss one, that's okay. I'm going to exclude one class, like one field trip from your grade. So if you miss one, that 0 is not going to impact your grade. Okay. Typically for field trips, we do need to provide your own transportation. If you want to carpool with each other, I will always provide parking information. Some hotels will allow us to park at their property. Some hotels don't have that ability. And so I will always give you multiple parking options. I will tell you that I personally park in the cheapest option, even if I have to walk 5 extra blocks because I'm cheap. Yes. We will always meet at the hotel. Yeah, our field trips, whenever I coordinate a field trip with, I always ask that we do it from 11 to 1. So if you are in a class before this one, it gives you time to travel to there, right? Our normal classroom starts at 10:45. So it gives you some time to travel to the hotel. And then we finish by 1. Sometimes we go to 1:15. It gives you time to get back. I have a 2 o'clock class in this room on Thursdays, so I always have to be back by that point. Okay. Course calendar. Let's take a look. Whew. Okay. Yes. On Saturday. I may not have updated the calendar in Canvas yet. Let's go to the one that you have in front of you.
I think the one on campus. 10, 12, oh, you have 2023.
Yeah, so the one on Canvas. Let's look at the one that I have printed out for you. So everyone has a course outline printed out for you. I will update this in Canvas. Okay. So today we're going to go over chapters 1 and chapters 2. Okay. Next week we're going to go over chapters 3, 4, and 5. Okay. The following week is the Sala bed making competition, San Antonio Hotel Lodging Association. It's during National Housekeeping Week. It is one of my most favorite events that we go to every year. Our job from 10:45 till about 1:30 when our class is done, our job is to refold the sheets and get the station set up ready for the next round of competition. Okay. So if you don't know how to fold a fitted sheet, you're going to get real good practice folding fitted sheets. Okay. So that will be a field trip that we will meet at the Alamo Convocation Center. I will post all of this stuff as announcements in Canvas. Okay. So you'll definitely get this. I will also provide lunch. Well, the school will provide lunch. I usually get pizza. Is everyone good with cheese or pepperoni? Okay, cool. So I usually provide pizza. I'll have bottled water. I'll usually get like Coke and Sprite. So as like a caffeinated, non-caffeinated option. So I'll show you where all that is. So that way, again, you don't have to ask me if you need to go grab something, during the competition, whatnot. Okay. The competition does go until about 4 o'clock. So if you're able to stay after and continue helping, great. If not, no worries. If you need to leave, that's fine. But it is one of my most favorite competitions. This year's theme is Disney. So you're welcome to dress in theme if you would like to. I will probably just wear jeans and either a blue polo shirt or a St. Philip's College t-shirt. This one is more casual. Okay, because we're going to be folding sheets, we're going to be moving a lot. So this one is a little bit more casual. Then we'll cover chapters 6, 7, and 8. And then we're going to do a hotel field trip. The Soul Cypress is a hotel that just was recently It's recently under complete rebranding. So not just a renovation, but a complete rebrand. It was it was the Wyndham Garden Inn where uh what's that seafood place? Bourbon Street Seafood was on the Riverwalk. So they're going from a Wyndham Garden to Soul Cypress. I don't remember what brand it is as far as like what type of hotel it is, but it's going to be a boutique hotel. So they wanted us to get there before the renovation is done so you can kind of still see some of the renovation happening. Okay. We will not take the entire 2 hours. And so I've already asked them if we can set up in their meeting space and we can have an hour class after the tour. So we're gonna finish up class there. Okay. Then we'll do chapters 9 and 11. 9, 10, and 11. There is no quiz for chapter 10 because there's no questions on your final exam for chapter 10. Okay, chapter 10 focuses on housekeeping, so we'll talk about it, but there's no quiz for it because there's no questions on your final exam for it. So it's not a misprint, it's intentional. And then we'll cover chapters 12, 13, and 14. So we will be done with the textbook before midterm break. Okay. It's going to be a lot of information. Now, I will say, I wanted to say this earlier, but I forgot, but I'll say it now. This class is front office management. We have a lot of people that are want to doing event planning, catering, restaurants, food and beverage focus. So some of this stuff is not necessarily going to apply to your overall career goals, but it's still important to know. So this is a lot of hotel stuff. Focus. The week 8, which is our midterm week, will be at the AHA Luncheon. So it'll be at the San Antonio Zoo. I will give you, again, more information about that. St. Philip's College, I'm going to use funds that are available to me to pay for your luncheon registrations, okay? We'll talk about that as we get closer to that on October the 17th. The following week, we'll be at the Estancia del Norte in Doubletree. So Samantha will be at your properties. And at that property, we're going to do a little bit more hands-on stuff. So it won't be like a traditional tour of the hotel. I'm going to break you up 10 people at each property, and then you'll get to go in, do housekeeping, meet with the salespeople, do front office, kind of see what the front office people do. So that will be the week of October 24th. We'll meet there. I still am waiting to hear from 2 more field trip locations. I'm hoping to get either a Grand Hyatt hotel. So we'll talk about the different types of hotels today, but Estancia del Norte and Doubletree are airport properties. Soul Cypress is a boutique hotel. I want to do a full service. And I would love to do a resort if possible. So either JW Marriott Resort or the Hyatt Hill Country Resort out by SeaWorld. So I'm still in email communication with people trying to identify. Also, there's one more is the that I'm trying to get also a hold of is 2 more options would be a select service property and or the Sheraton Gunther Hotel downtown, which is a historic property. Okay, so we can see in the historic property, Sheraton's going to undergoing renovations as well. Whatever hotels we don't get to, I love hotels. I love going inside hotels. Whatever hotels we don't get to in this class, I try to put off for the spring. So we'll see different hotels in the spring in the revenue management class, if possible. Week 12 is November 14th is the Tobin Center for the Performing Arts. Okay, that's the Visit San Antonio annual meeting. There's a flyer right outside our door. There's also one in here. This is where you're going to see a lot of industry executives. Visit San Antonio, it's an annual meeting where the Visit San Antonio, which is the organization that talks about tourism and brings tourism to San Antonio, they do an annual meeting where they talk about what they accomplished from last year and what their goals are for the next year. And there's usually some keynote address. If you are an event management interest, this is an incredible event to go to because just of the production value. I mean, it's inside the Tobin Center, so it's going to be like the whole staging, the theater. It's just really cool. So from like about 8 to 10, they're going to do breakout sessions, and then from 10 to 12, they'll have a general session. Okay, so you can sign up, scan the QR code and sign up for that. It does happen during our class time, so it's kind of mandatory attendance for you all to go. St. Philip's College will provide a shuttle, so you can park here, and then we will have a shuttle. I'm working with the trolley company, the Old Town Trolley. So we're not using a motor coach. We're going to use a trolley. So we'll jump on the trolley and take you down to the Tobin Center, and we'll do a shuttle back and forth. So you can park here, park for free, and then we'll get the shuttle to and from the Tobin Center. Okay. Then this is really awesome. November, we're going to Morton Steakhouse for the AHA luncheon. So we get a steak lunch. So that's awesome. And so on the following week, we will not have class because it is Thanksgiving. And then we'll review for the final exam the following week and then our final exam. Okay. So 16 weeks, 15 more class periods. A lot of them are going to be spent outside of this classroom. And so I have had comments from students in the past be like, Mr. Minsky, you blew through the textbook so fast. And I'm like, yeah, but we're in the hotels. We're doing networking. We're going out. So those are things that you can't learn from a textbook. And so I'm really, really, really excited for our schedule. But like I said, there's going to be sometimes where we're covering 3 chapters in a class period. So more often than not, we will go all the way from 10:45 to 1:30. So questions, comments, concerns? Yes.
So you were saying about like signing up. So even though our classes in between there, we can still sign up.
Yes, you can still sign up. You can scan this QR code and just sign up. It's a Google form. So you can sign up. I'm automatically going to put your names on the list for travel, which brings me to my next thing. Everybody has 2 different forms. The first form looks like this, okay? What I need you to do is I need you to sign your name. I need you to sign your name, okay? And print your name. I will be your witness. So just sign your name and print. Yes. You don't have this one? Yep. Flip this one over. There you go. Okay. I always do this side first because everyone forgets to sign the back. Okay. And then flip it over. And all I need is your name. Here, actually, I think I have, if I can do this. Which number? 3. There we go. Okay. So everyone sign the back page and then just flip the whole packet over. And then I just need your name up top, your name right here, and then just the emergency contact information. That's it. Okay. Let me pause the recording because we don't need to hear this. I have Canvas set to the 3 most recent announcements will appear on the homepage. So you don't have to click the announcements button. Your announcements will go to your email or through Canvas, but the 3 most recent announcements will always appear on the Canvas homepage. So you don't have to click on it. It'll just be there. Okay. It's 12:02. So let's take 8 minutes. Come back at 12:10. Okay. There's snacks on the shelf over there. You don't have to ask. You can just go help yourself. And then this class only. So if you have any for another class, it doesn't apply. But this class only, in the closet in there is a mini fridge that has sodas and things like that. You're welcome to help yourself. Let me stop the recording.